everyone, it's Erin Flota here, and I am here filming my setup for this week. So I have a two-part, setup for you guys. I have the first part where it is my tasks and everything, and then the second part is going to be my meal and fitness logging situation. If you haven't seen my 2020 planner lineup video, I kind of explain how I needed to make some adjustments to my wellness, and so this week I am starting to incorporate it into my bullet journal because I have plenty of space left in this bullet journal. So I just wanted to make sure that I was, trying things out maybe ahead of doing the Wellness Wednesday check-ins. So the Wellness Wednesdays will be starting in January. So I will not be doing a wellness check-in next week for this week, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you the setup for it regardless. So essentially what I'm doing is I am adding all of these little header pieces. So if you guys watch my setup for December, you saw me use these Versa chalk markers. They work really well. I mean, there's like metallic dusting that like comes off of it, but no more than like any other pen really that I've worked with. So I honestly haven't really had that much of a problem using these. So if you want a pen for a blackout notebook, I actually think this is turning out really well, and it's not too bad at all. So they're very liquidy, so I can basically use these as watercolors, which is basically what I'm doing. I start off with one color and then I kind of blend into each other using the markers. The pink one definitely blends the best, and you'll have seen that in my December setup as well. So I'm setting up the headers, and they're like the dream clouds because this whole theme is like galactic dreams. So I am setting those up, and then I'm going to put the boxes around. Each box is for one day, and then the last one is for events. And I decided not to make this like events for every single day. You'll see that I do events for Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday because those are the only days that I know about events right now. And so instead of instead of putting every day and then having blank spaces, I decided just to put in what I know right now, and then if something comes up, then I'll just put it on the day itself. But I wanted to make sure I had plenty of room for tasks and things like that. So I didn't want to incorporate all of my events, particularly on Thursday when like it's such a busy day for me regarding like meetings and things. So anyways, so I'm adding a drop shadow to all of these, and then I go in and outline the clouds later on and add some tasks in as well. So I just kind of want to talk about the wellness situation. So I just want to say first off, thank you guys for all of your supportive words and things like that. It's kind of like weird to open up on a social media platform, so I really appreciate that there weren't any like mean comments or anything like that, and that people like kind of wanted to join the journey with me as well. So I think that that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be incorporating something like that into my Patreon. So even if you want to like start off at the $1 level on my Patreon, then we can try to be accountability buddies. So I just wanted to throw that out there that we're creating like a really nice group of people that are just supportive for each other. Oh, and my pen ran out of ink, and I only have one more white pen left because I ordered a bunch prior to starting this blackout journal, and I only have one left because I use so much white. Every single month I have used a lot of white, so I'm surprised they've lasted this long, to be honest, but I'm really glad that they did. Anyway, so we're getting a really good group of people together to not only talk about planning and things like that, but to be support networks as well. So I think that if you want to join, oh, and there's Max. Max decides to sit with me for a little bit. I have one cat on my lap at this point, and then one cat on my desk, and Max is just looking at the squirrels playing outside. And then he gets a little bit more curious, so I'm gonna have to move him later on. I moved him into my lap, which 2 cats in one lap is very hard to work with. Anyways, so yeah, I think it's going to be fun to create that community aspect. I am putting together a Facebook page that are just for patrons, where I'm going to stream videos just for patrons and do Q&As just for them and things like that. So if you want access to a really cool community, I'd suggest joining my Patreon. It's still in beta test mode through the end of the month, and then everything's going to go pretty live. I've gotten a lot of feedback from them on what they want back from me, if they want more practice sheets, if they want more live videos, if they want more printable downloads, things like that. So they've given me a lot of input, and I realized that while I'm setting this up, you can't really see the headers, but really I'm just putting MOM for Monday and the day of the week, so Monday the 9th. But you can't really see it, but you can see it up close and personal. It's just the way the glimmer looks on this camera. It just doesn't show up very well, but it does show up in person. So sorry that you guys can't get the same experience that I can. Oh, and here is where Max starts to really want my attention. Oh, he's funny. So I'm just putting some tasks down for Monday. So that is the whole Patreon thing. They've given me tons of feedback, and I really appreciate it. They got a ton of freebies and things like that so far. And so I'm going to keep incorporating that and make sure that, I'm doing what they're interested in doing instead of doing what's easy for me. I'm doing a little bit of a mix. Some things are easy for me, some things aren't, but everything is kind of geared towards what they are interested in. So thank you in advance, my patrons, for just being awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. It's really nice to have some sort of validation and a support network, because sometimes I feel really bad that I'm not doing enough, but they're amazing. And I've gotten so many good messages. It makes me feel a lot better about posting on social media and being on social media so much. So that's actually one of the things that made me not afraid to talk about my weight and issues that I've been having with my wellness, was because of how supportive they've been. So thanks, patrons. And you'll notice that I actually include a list of my patrons at the end of the video as a thank you. And so if you sign up for my Patreon, you'll get that as well. So moving on to this spread, because I need to stop talking about things. You'll notice if you looked at my annual kit that I've been really into these faux washi tapes lately. So I decided to make these faux washi tape headers for each of these sections. There is a section for meal log, which is the first section. There is a section for counting my macros. There is a section for workout log, and then a section for marking off what is going on with my rings. And so each day has a header, obviously, that's what I'm doing right now. And I did a cool effect where I'm skipping lines and things like that. And then the one that didn't get the bottom gets carried over to the next one. So it's a really cool effect. I really like how it turned out. So basically the first column is just a meal log. I left space for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Hopefully that's going to be enough. Sometimes I snack a lot during the day. And then each of those lines for the macros corresponds to that item. So for the first line, it will have my coffee and creamer. and then it will have the carbs, fat, protein breakdown for each, and then the total calories for that particular meal. So hopefully I stick to 4 meals a day. I'm not great at it, which is why I'm kind of trying out this spread because I don't know if it will totally work for me. So the second column is the macros. So you'll see me later go in and put CFPT, and that's what it stands for: carbs, fat, protein, total calories. So that is corresponding to the first column. The third column is for strength training. So I'm just going to put what strength training / workout that I did that day, and then put in the total time for that workout and maybe some stats like what my average heartbeat was and things like that. So that is going to be the third column. And then the fourth column is for my rings at the end of the day. I didn't really need 4 spaces for this, but I wanted it to look like all the other columns. So the first one is for move, the second one is for exercise, and the third one is for standing. So at the end of the day, I'm going to put how many move calories that I burned, how long I exercised, because sometimes exercise isn't there's what you exercise in your workout, but then sometimes if you go for a walk around the block with my dog, then that counts as well. So I have exercise and then standing. My standing goal is 12. My exercise goal right now is 30 minutes, and then my move goal is really low. It's at 350 right now. But as I'm getting back into things, I think it's really important to satisfy goals, and it's kind of more of a mentality versus anything else. Making sure that I get some, I don't know, validation for the work that I'm putting in, even if it's only a little bit of work. So anyways, that is my setup for this week. So you saw my tasks and now my wellness logs. And thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.